Do you solo queue in Apex Legends? Do you sometimes get randoms that are just god-awful for whatever reason? Have you ever thought that maybe you're the bad random, but you just don't know it? Not to worry, I've put together a quick, handy course for you guys to learn basic etiquette for randoms. If you find that this helped you, feel free to send this video to your randoms in the future. Let's jump into it. The first one that's obvious to me, but clearly not to anyone else, is to split from your jump master. I always pass on jump master because my teammates always cling on to me and follow me all the way down, just to steal my loot and get us all killed because obviously there's not enough loot in one building to supply a whole team. If you are dropping as a solo queue player, look around you and find a landing spot with ample loot and ping where you are dropping. If you are contested, try to land moderately close to each other as to not be disconnected from each other. And if you aren't contested, try to spread out so you don't spend all of the game looting for no reason. Before people take this the wrong way and this turns into a catastrophe, I'm not saying you should drop runoff while your team goes airbase. Establish what POI you guys want to go together and drop close enough that you'll still be in the same general area. Speaking of spending all game looting, there's an unspoken rule in Apex where you don't loot more than the first POI that you dropped in, unless the loot you get is absolutely horrible. If so, then you can make an exception and loot one more place. Unless you're playing ranked, most players don't want to spend all the time looting and instead want to be in the action. It is a shooter, it is not a looter, Loba means. There's also a trend going around with battery hoarding. It's been going on for a while, but it has been getting a lot worse lately. Some players pick up way more batteries than they need because, well, they are useful. And while it's not necessarily good backpack management, it's still okay. But this very often results in one player on the team having upwards of 10 batteries, while their own teammates are struggling and only able to heal with a few cells. Hoarding batteries is a common and surefire way of hamstringing your own team without you even noticing. I'm not expecting you to communicate with your randoms, telling them what loot you have, what loot you need. Solo queuers, especially in regions like Europe, rarely communicate with each other, but that's why we have the ping system put in place. Make sure to use the ping system as much as you can. Ping when you see an enemy, when and where you want to rotate, or hell, if you find a Mozambique. If you get down, you can ping the enemy's location, but every few seconds or if they switch up a position is enough. Don't spam it. There's also this handy little guy in the top right when you're looking at certain loot, which means that one of your teammates can use that specific item and would appreciate if you ping it. An unspoken rule is you can spam finish if you're getting finished. Everyone knows that just means, hey, I'm getting finished. Other than that, don't ping everything you see. Everything in moderation. Speaking of pings, you really shouldn't ping your banner when you are finished to remind your teammates that you want to get revived. They usually know what they are doing and that they have your banner. They'll rest you when they get the chance to. Just sit back and enjoy the scenery. If your teammates for whatever reason walks straight past the respawn beacon, you can start spamming. I have chosen not to revive people who spam, so keep that in mind. If you get into a fight, there are a few things you should and shouldn't do. Never bait your teammates, which is when you take a team fight and start trading shots or pushing in, and then suddenly back off to let your teammates run in alone into certain death. Backing off slightly or behind cover to pop a battery can be fine if the situation requires it, but you're usually better off by letting your teammates move forward and playing behind them if you get hit hard, allowing you to continue giving damage without leaving the fight completely. Fights have to be decided fast. You shouldn't throw the game away with a brainless push, but that doesn't mean you should sit around doing nothing, waiting for something magical to happen. Continue taking space and angles and try to force 1v1s so you can do damage or get yourself some picks. Many randoms just continue sitting behind their cover and stall a fight out for minutes, or let the aggressive player on the team run in alone and die on his own while they keep counting the grass on the ground. If you're the type of guy to communicate with your random teammates, good for you. Not many randoms open the mic unless they decide to scream slurs, at least in Europe. It is not expected by any means, but it does make your chance of winning or having a good time way higher. That being said, work on your callouts. He's one shot is a very bad callout unless the person in fact is one shot. Being low HP is not one shot. Most people would agree that one shot is between 1 to about 20 or 40 HP. If you are resetting after a fight, there are a few points of etiquette you have to keep in mind. First, The person who got the kill always has first dibs on the kill. If your teammate wiped an entire squad by himself, don't dive into the box that they're looting. It's usually fine to start looting the others, assuming your teammate is already decently geared. Have you ever been the guy pushing for a fight, finishing off the squad, and then being the last man standing? Only to find out that your teammates have left the game as soon as they were knocked long ago, and now you have no one left to revive. Don't be that guy. Don't instantly leave the match when you get knocked. Give your teammates a chance to revive you, as you don't always know how the fate may turn around. If both your teammates get knocked and one is a supportive legend with a rest advantage ability, such as Lifeline, Gibraltar, or Mirage, make sure to rest them first. They can initiate a safer revive while you're healing up or continuing to loot. Also, just a quick thing, if you are enjoying the video so far, make sure to really hit that like button so it can get picked up and showed to more people, including the future randoms on your team. And I can't stress this enough, always prioritize your teammates over shiny loot. If you've cleared a fight, you can grab a hot swap, but after that you have to make sure to rest your teammates before continuing to loot. On the flip side, if your teammate is doing a rest or you are the one getting revived, don't instantly jump to steal their loot, and if possible, help them set up an armor swap for the down teammate. If your teammate is finished and you still win the fight, it's okay to loot them to grab a new armor for a reset, but anything else is off limits, as long as you know that nobody else will get to the death box before you bring your teammates back. This next piece of etiquette might be a bit next level, but set up armor swaps. This means that you should drop a full armor from the death boxes for both of your teammates to save vital seconds, so the whole team is ready to take a fight if a third party is around the corner. Speaking of legends with rest advantage, always give the golden backpack to Lifeline, Gibraltar, and Mirage, in that order. This is because they have the strongest revive abilities and as such should always be the ones going for the rest. As for the golden helmet, never give it to Octane, as his ultimate already charges super fast at 120 seconds and it doesn't actually impact his stim. Give it to legends with impactful ultimates and tactical abilities, such as Gibraltar. If you already have your ultimate, you can consider giving it to your teammate so they can charge theirs up faster. The golden knockdown should either go to your support legend just in case they get knocked so the game isn't fully lost, or to the player who's playing really aggressively and taking most of the peaks and damage. If there is a golden backpack in the squad, it's usually a good idea to pair the knockdown with the backpack, as this effect stacks and you will self-revive with half health and shields. As someone who plays solo a lot, there will be times when you are the random getting teamed up with two duos. Odds are that they're talking and communicating over other platforms such as Discord. By the way, go join mine, discord.gg/OtTr, and they might just end up completely ignoring you. If you are the solo, you are expected to follow the duo in the situation. If you are the duo in the situation, please don't let your random solo be all alone, unaware of what's going on, especially communications-wise. If you want to play overly passive or defensive, picking a legend such as Caustic, Watson, Loba, or whatever with the intention of sitting around and doing nothing or looting all game, don't. Most players want to play aggressively in public matches and don't want to spend the whole game sitting around doing nothing. On the flip side, if you are in ranked and your random teammates wants to play passive, you should probably honor it. Because one, it's a douche move, and secondly, if they don't want to play aggro, odds are you can't rely on them that much anyways. I actually asked my Twitter for things that they wish that the randoms stopped doing, and besides the most obvious jokes, there were a lot of complaints about them looting. It's a problem. If you're struggling with looting fast and going through death boxes fast, I have created a video for that specific problem, which is available on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.